Good morning, students. Today's topic is second part of chapter number second, that is what is democracy, why democracy. In the first part, we have learned about the definition and what are the main features. That means what should be present in a proper way of democracy, that is proper way of democratic way of worker. Now, in this part, we are going to learn why democracy, that means why democratic way of working is better than any other way of modes of government, that is like monarchy, dictator, or any other military working. So democracy is popular, and many nations they are becoming democracies. But first we are going to learn about the demerits, that is what are the drawbacks of democratic way of working, shortcomings, that is demerits. It is also called arguments that are against, that means why democracy is having certain drawbacks. Some drawbacks are still there in spite of the fact that democracy is a best way of working if we compare it with other way of working. So first shortcoming is that in a democracy, leaders they keep on changing. That leads to instability in that particular country where democratic way of working is there. If the government that is formed at the center, it keep on changing after every 5 or 6 years, it will lead to instability. So that is the first drawback of democracy. Second, democracy, it looks like that it is all about political competition and power play, particularly when their elections are being held and the forming of the government is being there. In that case, use of money and muscle threat could be seen in all the democratic countries wherever elections are being held. So in that case, it looks like that no political party is actually in government to have some work or some moral reason, but they are just in to win the power. They are just in competition, that means they are competing with each other so that they can frame the government. They are not to serve the citizens or to serve the nation. So that is the second drawback. Third drawback is that many people have to be consulted in a democratic way of working, and that leads to delay. Whenever any new policy or any law or any program has to be started in a democratic government, in that case discussions and debates have to be made in the parliament, and whenever the debate and discussions are being held, it leads to delay. Example is women reservation bill in parliament, that is still is in delay for the last so many years. So that is consulting each other whether we should formulate this policy or not, it leads to delay. Fourth point is that sometimes elected leaders they are not always looking at the best interest of the people, and it leads to bad decisions. That means it is not always, it doesn't mean that they are having consultations, as I have told you in the previous point, that leaders they consult each other in parliament, only after that the bills are being passed. But sometimes the government makes a immediate decision without consultation, without any debate, and it leads to bad decisions also. So every time consultation is being made, it is not that, it is not existing in all the forms of government. It is existing in some countries, but it is absent in some other countries. So this is also being seen. So this shortcoming is also existing in democratic way of working. Democracy leads to corruption, as it is based on electoral competition. It means that whenever competition is there between two or more than two persons, they always try to win. So whenever anybody tries to win, he use money and muscle power, or those who have helped them, they try to have return benefits whenever they are helping. So this way of working is seen in democracy, and this is called corruption. So corruption is existing because whenever elections are being held, every party tries to win the election, and whenever any party tries to win the election, it is always using some support. Sometimes it's a support on the basis of money, and sometimes the support is on the basis of muscle power, that is by threatening or by giving certain using certain criminals to win the election. And whenever such type of help is being taken by a political party to win the election, in that way that person wants certain benefits in return whenever a party wins the election. So this is called corruption. Now next point is that the ordinary citizens, they do not know what is good for them, and they could not decide anything because either they are poor, or they are uneducated persons, or they are not able to take right decisions. So such person, whenever they are voting for some person just for money or for certain other benefit, they are not knowing what is exactly good for them, and the government that is framed is not going to work after being in government. So democracy, it also leads to frequent change of leadership. So democracy, as it is based on election after every 5 years, but sometimes elections are being held after 2 or 3 years because the government that is framed at the center or at the state, it is being overtaken by the other parties, that those who are in the opposition, cause of certain reasons of wrong policies, the government is overthrown. So in such case, sometimes this can be set to bad decisions, and it affects the government efficiency. That means programs that are started by, example of it is that if the programs are being started by the BJP government, which is in working, and when it is not being in continuation in the next elections, and if it is being framed by the Congress, they are not going to give importance to those policies and programs of BJP. So change of leadership, it causes a bad effect on the government efficiency. So democratic way of working is disrupted because of this practice. Now democracy is also not a magical band. We can't call that it is a magic band which can solve all the problems. It has certain drawbacks, and as it has ended in the poor countries like Bangladesh and India, and in other parts of the country, so it is not able to, democratic government is not able to remove poverty. Still many people are living below the poverty line. So those democratic governments that are being framed, they are also not able to remove the problems that are mainly faced by the citizens of that particular country. But if we compare a democratic way of working with a non-democratic working, we can see that the democratic working is much better on humanitarian ground. That means morality exists in democratic way of working as compared to non-democratic. Example is there in your book, that is about the famine that occurred in China in 1958-61, in which 7 crore people died, and the same kind of famine occurred in India, but the loss of human was less as compared to that happened in China. If China would have the democratic or the freedom of press, or opposition party is being accepted, that figure could be lower. But the freedom of press is absent in China, opposition party is not existing like that is in existence in China, in India. They can criticize the government, anybody, a party, if it is not working. In India we can criticize the non-working government, So many people, they could have been saved because of that famine. Help could be provided. So that is why democracy is considered the best form of government in spite of all those arguments that are against it. Now, what are the main merits? So let's come to the merits of what are the main arguments that are in favor of democracy. So first benefit of democratic way of working is that the democracy is better than any other form of government because it responds to the needs of the people. A democracy, it requires that rulers, they have to attend to the needs of the people. That means a government, if it is being framed on the basis of democracy, they have to attend, or that means they have to solve the problems of the people. They, if they are not doing so, they can be overthrown. Second point, democratic government is better because it is more accountable way of working of government as compared to any other government, because it works on consultation and discussions. Even though it leads to delay, but it helps in reducing the possibility of rash and irresponsible decisions. So it helps to deal with the differences and conflicts also. That means in a democratic country, the differences and conflicts, they are easily being solved because those needs and demands of the people, they are being presented by different parties, and those different parties are having a chance of winning the election. So different groups, they live together peacefully, they can easily solve their problems. So this way of working is possible only in a democratic country. In diverse country like India, where people are from different religions and languages are different, languages are being spoken here, democracy, it keeps the country together because it is providing equal platform to all minorities and majority, along with other differences also. Now the now democracy, it also works in a legitimate manner. That means it allows to us to correct our mistakes, and no mistakes that are being made in the government, they can be hidden by the government. We as citizens, we can check the working of the government through various methods. The government also guarantees that no mistakes are being made. So guarantee is being provided that mistakes, they are to be covered up. Laws, rules and regulation, whatever are being made in a constitution, they are followed in a democratic way of working, which is absent in other way of working. Now democracy, it also enhances the dignity of the citizens. It means that if a person, if he is a poor person or an uneducated person, he is having the same status as a rich and educated person whenever political equality comes into being. That means every person has a right to vote. Nobody can take away the right to vote or to present their views in front of the government, even if the person is in minority, even if the person is poor or uneducated. Rich persons, they are not given any favor in democratic way of working. Now democracy, it is better than the other forms of government as it allows us to correct the mistakes, as I have already told you. So mistakes means whenever the government is not doing any work or has made any mistake, it could be debated, it could be presented through media. So different methods are being used by the citizens. We can check the working of the government through RTI. So these are various methods that are present in democratic working that is absent in other way of working. So there is no there is a space in the democracy to make discussions on the mistakes. The mistakes, whatever they are being made, they are being corrected. In the previous years, we have passed various bills. When there were certain mistakes or certain drawbacks, it was being covered up, like the bill that was passed on the reservation bill. So such things are possible in democracy, but it is absent in other way of working. Now conclusion of this, that is what are the benefits of the democracy. If we conclude that it goes in favor of democracy, that means democratic way of working is better as compared to other because democratic government, it works according to the needs of people. Second, it responds to them. Third, it provides space for public discussion, and on the whatever the if there is any mistake, it is being solved. Fourth, if there is a room for correction, if the rulers have made any wrong decision, that can be changed by public participation, that is by voting. That means if the government has worked something against the will of the people, the government is going to lose the election, because people, they are not going to vote in favor of the working government. Instead of that, the other party will come into being. So this pressure is possible only in democracy, which is absent in other way of working. Now the question arises that the democracy in most common form, if we call it, it is called representative democracy. Why? Because representatives, they take the decisions. Representatives are those persons, those who are elected by the citizens of a country where the elections are being held, and those representatives, they take decisions on behalf of the people. So whatever decisions are being made by the ministers or MLAs or whoever the party workers or members of different associations or trade unions, any kind of working existing in any firm, the work is being done by the representative whom we have elected. Why? Because mostly it is that the modern democracies, they involve a large number of people, and it is not physically possible for all of them to sit together to make discussions or to make a collective decision. So because of this, only some persons, they are taking decisions on our behalf, because we have elected them, because we have faith on them. Second point is that even if we make the people sit together, even if we call them, even if it is possible to sit together, people do not have time. And even if they have time, they are not having the skill to take part in any decisions. That means they are not able to make proper decisions. All persons are not having proper decision procedure methods. They cannot take decisions. So this is the main reason that democracies, difference between bad democracy and good democracy. So distinction between the democracies means democratic governments are there, but the difference between a bad and good democracy is that the decisions that are being made by the representatives, whether the representatives are making decision on our behalf in a proper manner or are in a wrong way. So democracy word is also used for different types of organizations other than government also. So democracy does not mean, it is not linked with the government only. It is linked with each and every sphere of organization, different types of trade unions or associations or schools. Even in our house, we are using the democratic way of work. So that is called the broader meaning of democracy. That means the term democracy, when we use it in different spheres of life, different fields of life, then this word provides us a meaning. That means democracy is used at organization level or a family level or any aspect of life. When we use this word, that means everybody is able to take decision. Each and every person has an equal role in decision making. The work, attitude, view of citizens, all those are the major elements in making the country more or less a democratic way of working. It also depends upon the active political participation of all the citizens. So broader meaning, it involves that in democracy, every citizen must be able to play an equal role in decision making. Second, an equal right to vote is not sufficient. It also means that citizens, they need to have equal information. They should have the basic education. They should be provided equal resources, and lot of commitment should also be there by the working of the government. Every democracy try to realize the ideals of democratic decision making. So So it cannot be achieved once and for all. It requires a constant effort. It doesn't mean a democratic working if is working in a proper manner in the recent year, it is going to work in the coming years also, because it requires a constant effort to save and strengthen the democratic forms of decision making. So it needs constant effort. The work, the attitude, view of citizens, they are the major element which makes the country more or less democratic. It is not only depending upon the government only, it depends on the citizens also. So the fate of the country, it depends not only what the rulers do, but it also depends upon what the citizens are doing. If we citizens are not going to raise our voice, then the political way of working is not going to be in a proper manner. Democracy depends upon the active political participation of all the citizens. So this is the end of the topic. Hope you have understood all the concepts. You have to cover up all the question answers that are being done in your book. Thank you.